And welcome back to Applebee's Tailgate Talk, ladies and gentlemen. Bama Zach Green, producer extraordinaire. Old Tomcat here alongside Coach Glenn Detulleo, head coach of the Huntsville Havoc. We've had Ashley on, we've had Freak Daddy, and now we got the man, Coach Detulleo. Coach, welcome back. We was here last year. You got to sit down and talk with us. First off, congratulations on the championship since the last time we spoke.
Yeah, I appreciate it. It was, it was a heck of a run and a lot of fun. So, appreciate it.
Yep. And we were talking about off air. What time did you guys get in this morning?
Yeah, it was a little bit after 4 o'clock in the morning. So, quick turnaround here for the boys to get after it again at 3. But that's what hockey players do, you know.
Yeah.
It's the grind.
Right.
And what we were talking about too off air, you know, we just think, you know, them guys just, you know, get a little sleep, show up. But if it wasn't for your equipment guys staying here late at night, washing the clothes, getting all the equipment clean, y'all couldn't get back out there and play at 3 o'clock today.
Yeah, I mean, Billy Welker, Jason Lopez, and it's crazy when the visiting team comes in, they've got to do their laundry as well, right? So, they haven't left. They've been here all night doing that stuff, making sure when the guys show up today, you know, the locker room's clean, the equipment's dry, the laundry's done. I mean, you don't realize the behind-the-scenes work that they put in. I was just down there, and they're mopping the floor to make sure it all looks good, that, you know, in areas that nobody else sees really but the players. So they do a tremendous job, and it just allows the players to show up and worry about playing hockey, and that's the way it should be, and we appreciate it for sure.
Absolutely. Now, you talking about drying the equipment. Do they actually pick up every individual piece of equipment and dry it, or do they have dryers, blow dryers?
Well, yeah, the locker room will have fans to dry most of it, but, you know, in a situation like this, we've got, it's a glove dryer, but essentially it's got a bunch of different, ends kind of sticking out. You can put on gloves.
Okay.
You can put on probably 12 sets of gloves. Well, what he'll do is, he'll put on gloves and he'll put on skates. You know, the things that they know are a little bit tougher to dry. They'll make sure that they're doing that. And listen, I've played a lot of years, and there's not a lot of equipment managers that go to that length to make sure that all their stuff is dry. You know, a lot of times, you'd show up in a situation like this, and, you know, some of your stuff was still a little bit wet, and, Billy and Jason take a lot of pride in making sure that, everything's perfect. And like I said, if it starts from there, if they do their job to the best of their ability and it's perfect, it sets a tone for everybody else. That's the expectation for the players. You know, there's no excuses.
Absolutely.
And it shows on the ice. I mean, you can tell with the higher quality behind the scenes work, you get a higher quality product I say product, you get a better team. Seems like the boys have a lot more pride in what they're doing and playing solid hockey right now.
Yeah, we've been on a pretty good stretch here since before Christmas, and we kind of hit a lull there earlier in the year. We lost 6 games in a row and kind of hit some adversity.
Right.
And, we were still trying to figure out our identity. And, part of that is bringing a bunch of guys back from last year and, trying to rev the engine back up to get into that level you need to be at every night. I think there was a little bit of we just were showing up thinking we were going to win because of what we did in the past. And, there's an adjustment period to being kind of the hunted instead of the hunter.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we kind of got over that and kind of established, our own little identity for this year's team. And, the wins have kind of followed from there. So,
how's the week gone this week, Coach?
It was good. We had a Monday afternoon game in Birmingham, and I thought we played a tremendous game. One of our best games of the year. Last night in Macon, probably our worst first 2 periods in a long, long time. And, part of that was Macon played really, really well. But, whether we just showed up and just had one of those games where we're flat, or we just showed up and we're kind of reading the press clippings, it's hard to say sometimes, but a little bit frustrating. But we were really, we were shorthanded with only 4 defensemen last night, which made it tough. And, I was really proud on how at least we fought back in the third and played a really, really good third. So hopefully that'll set the tone here for this afternoon, at least, putting some positive thoughts in our mind after the third period yesterday. And it's a big game. It's a team we're chasing. And, we've been beating all the teams that are behind us, but, we've got to do a better job beating the teams that are ahead of us if we really want to make some headway.
Well, don't you have somebody coming back today? Is Nolan coming back?
Yeah,
okay.
Nolan gets off suspension today, and then we've got Pat Condon, which we'll find out here. He's kind of day-to-day, so we'll find out this morning with him. So we'll know we'll have at least 5 defensemen, maybe 6. So we'll see. It's a quick turnaround yesterday. It's playing, you can play shorthanded is one thing, but playing 4 defensemen, it's really, really tough. And, we had John Shivo, a forward, playing the back end, probably the first time he played,
Really?
D since he was 8 years old. And, I thought he did a great job. Under the circumstances, you're throwing somebody into the fire. I thought he did a good job. But, over the long haul, playing 4 defensemen, it's just, they're gonna wear down and break down. And, when that's happening, you're just not getting pucks out, and you're not getting pucks up to the forwards, which is, hurting your ability to create some offense. And, if we don't have the puck in the offensive zone, then the defensemen aren't getting a break. So
Right.
it was a bit of a long night for them, but they battled, and like I said, we showed up and played our best period in the third, and hopefully that carries over.
We see sometimes, Coach, where you get some of your guys get caught up and everything, and I know that puts you a little shorthanded. So when they caught up, do you have somebody kind of waiting that you can call and get here pretty quick to fill the spot? Or
when we're healthy, we have one extra roster spot, so we'll have a healthy scratch every night when we have everybody. So if we get a person called up, we can just slide that person in the lineup. With the way the roster is with injuries, it's not very often you're healthy scratching somebody. You're kind of always playing at your roster. Yeah. So, there's gonna be those weekends you play short, but the big picture is like last night and a few weeks before we were playing 5 defensemen. It's a great opportunity for them to get reps and be put in situations they wouldn't normally be put in. Yeah. And down the road, that's going to pay off, especially for the young guys that, we're going to expect them to be contributors and be big parts of, us defending this championship. And, if they're not playing, really stressful, high-intensity minutes, it's hard to ask them to perform under pressure when it matters most. So, sometimes it's a blessing in disguise. It's a great opportunity for other people to show you what you got. And sometimes you put somebody in a different situation, you realize they had more to offer than you knew. So you got to look at it as an opportunity. It's an opportunity for the coaching staff to evaluate players. But, as a player, when I was in that situation, sometimes you get bumped up the lineup, and, it might be for a game, might be for 2 weeks, but it's your opportunity to kind of show the coach and the players that you can do more. So, and that's been the case with our players. We've had a lot of guys, step up and play really, really, really well for us.
That's good. Coach, I know you're, like most coaches, you're focusing on one game at a time, but where are you in the standings right now?
So we're in 4th place right now. I'm not sure exactly where. Maybe 4 or 5 points behind the teams that are ahead of us. Maybe a game in hand. So
right.
I mean, it's right there. I mean, in this league here, you go on a good 2 week stretch. You're right up there. You lose for 2 weeks and you kind of drop down. And that's the beauty of our league. There's no gimmies. It's really, really tight and. As much as you want to, finish first place in the regular season, I think everybody knows that you just got to get in the playoffs. And if you get in the playoffs and you get hot at the right time like we did last year, we were the 4th place team, and got hot at the right time and you can get it done. So we want to make sure we're playing our best hockey at the end of the year.
I know the crowd wanted to win it here, but you had to win it on the road last year, correct?
Yeah, it was crazy. We had that home game here. We played so well, too, and it was the loudest I've ever heard this building. I mean, I was talking to my players; they couldn't hear me. I mean, I know the nerves. Our players were really, really nervous. I know every time they touched the puck, the place would explode, and it took a while for us in that game to just play hockey. I mean, you're going to bed, you're thinking about what happens if you win, and especially here, all the different people, and when we finally kind of found our game, I mean, we really poured it on for 2 periods, and we just couldn't get it by them. But, it's not supposed to be easy, and we went on the road, and the mindset, I think part of how well we played on that Game 2 set the tone for Game 3. I think we wore them down, and I think the guys knew that they just couldn't play with us for another game like that, and, we got it done on the road. So at the end of the day, it doesn't matter where you get it done. It would have been really, really nice to celebrate with our fans, but, our fans showed up for the parade and celebrated with us, so that was good.
It looks like y'all were 5 points behind Birmingham and 6 behind Macon, but it looks like Peoria is kind of running away right now.
Yeah, they've gotten off to a hot start, and they're a really good hockey team, and I think a little bit of that is the schedules aren't necessarily balanced. So on any given year, depending on how the teams fall, it might change your strength of schedule. But I mean, they're good every year. It's no fluke that they are where they are. They're a good hockey team, and their coach there is always recruiting good players. So they're gonna be tough to chase down, but. I think having a tougher schedule and going through some adversity in the regular season, I think that really is going to set you up a lot better than, just running away with things, if you ask me.
Right. Well, I'm sitting here thinking, this is the first time I've seen you without a hat on.
I know.
I saw him in the lobby.
I'm thinking,
with his
can we
hat
not
on,
get a Coach Glenn Detulleo hat night? Since we've got the Tyler Pearson team. Yeah.
I guess they can't afford those hats. I don't know.
That's awesome.
That's a cool hat, by the way. Like, so 3 o'clock this afternoon.
Yep.
Boys ready to play. You ready to play, and get the fans out here and scream and yell. And
yeah. I think I don't know what you want to call it. There should be a lot of guilty hockey players based on how they played last night, or there should be definitely no lack of pushback and intensity. I mean, I don't think anybody was happy with it, and I think the great thing about hockey, is you get to play right away, and it's even better when you get to play the same team right away. So
yeah.
I think guys left the rink, frustrated, but less than 24 hours, you get to get right after it again. And the best part is we're doing it at home in front of the best fans, and we know the place is going to be bumping, and I know the guys are excited to do that for sure.
That's right.
Absolutely, Coach. Thanks again for joining us. We appreciate your time because we know it's valuable.
All right, thanks for having me.
Absolutely. Hope to catch a game here before too. I have not been able to catch a game yet.
Yeah,
this year.
I plan on doing here before long too.
Got to get over here. Coach, ladies and gentlemen, Coach Glenn Detulleo, head coach of the Huntsville Havoc. We're going to toss it off to our sponsors. You're listening to Applebee's Tailgate Talk on WKAC, the Big 1080.